Okay. How did you use new media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages? Um, from the very beginning, from using Google to look up, Andrew Goodwin, and YouTube to look up rock videos, well, any video, music video of sort of the last 20, 30 years, was really helpful in the planning and research stages, actually, for the mere fact that you can see how sort of stereotypical a rock video is. A rock music video is, black and white, very dark, which I wanted to challenge, really, because I don't think they have to be like that. As long as they tell a story and it's understood, it doesn't have to be in black and white, and it doesn't have to be in a studio with, or an audience, which I found out as we went further along. Google to look up the marketing of music videos, to look up how they are designed. Scribd came in really handy to get away from using Word documents or just writing it into your blog. It was so much more easier to write this work in Scribd and add images and annotate. And you go back and edit without, and you can put pictures in, which was great because we had the issue of trying to put pictures into the blogs and then they wouldn't work or they wouldn't upload, and it was a lot easier to write up, which came in really handy. iMovie, obviously, used quite a bit. The Andrew Goodwin used iMovie for that and added images and wrote on text. But yeah, that was sort of the first time I used iMovie for something other than a production. So that it came in really handy, and it sort of opened up, what else can you do with iMovie? Can you do video podcasts and everything like that? So that was great fun as well. Obviously the podcast and video entries, like the one I'm doing now, they were great because you can see yourself and see how you've changed it and how you've handled certain problems or certain issues that you might have come across while making your video and researching and planning and constructing. It's a lot easier to see it yourself, even though you've got to watch yourself on the screen. It's a lot easier to go, oh, okay, you didn't handle that great, but you came across it in your next one, and it's like, actually, you handled it quite well. So podcasts and video entries are really good, and you get to hear what you sound like as well. Obviously Word as well, from Word to Scribd, the two kind of go hand in hand, really. So they came in really, if you wanted to get back to the basics of doing, annotations and pictures and diagrams to help you understand more and help you, the audience, understand it a little bit more, by annotating and diagrams and writing. So for written feedback, all the way throughout, actually, from, planning and research to the construction and evaluation, all of that really comes down to the written work that you do. And Word and Scribd really help you with that, actually, because I think without it, I failed. Photoshop, obviously a big one, in designing the ancillary tasks of your posters and, the Digipack especially. It was the first time I've ever used Photoshop, and it's a lot different to Paint. But, the more you got into it, the more, you could just fiddle around, see which ones really work, oh, that looks really well for a Digipack, and that doesn't really work, it might look nice, but does it fit in with the whole sort of image you want your Digipack to represent and stand for? So there was a lot of fiddling around, and you might like it one week and then come up with a really good idea, and you might, you could start all again, or you can take little bits from your practice run that we did. But Photoshop was a lot of fun once you get into it, because it's a very complicated tool. Just sitting around, with your friends and just going, oh, but that would look really good on yours. Oh, well, that looked great on yours as well. So, yeah, designing the digipacks, constructing the digipacks came in really, really handy with Photoshop, and especially the posters. Because if you try and look up music digipacks of the rock genre, you don't get a lot. They're very sort of, the ones that I did look at were quite cartoony, and they didn't really fit what I wanted my digipack to represent or to look like. So I was kind of looking at others and going, oh, okay, well, you can take a little bit of that and a little bit of that, and you can just mould it into something that you really like and something that you can really be proud of on Photoshop. So it came in really handy. SurveyMonkey, obviously very important in the evaluation stages and the research stages, actually. I've used SurveyMonkey before. I used it in my last production with Zoe and Catherine. But this one, the questions needed to be different in a way, because it's not so open as it was with the film area, really, because we did the film last year. But this one, they need to be more specific and a lot more critical, in my opinion. You need to get down to the nitty gritty, really, of your production, which I think I did. I got a lot of positive feedback and a lot of positive sort of criticism, really, of how, one of the questions was, if you had been in my shoes and you were creating this production, what would you have done slightly? How would you have improved it? Would you have done something completely different? And a lot of the feedback was really great about that, because you can really see if they understand it or not. And you can see, oh, actually, that idea works really well. I could have used that. Another question was, do you understand the plot? And if yes, what, or no, why? Why do you? Why don't you? A lot of them, I think all of them actually, turned around and said, yeah, it's about a girl who's being bullied and she escapes through the music, and then she ends up taking a chance, and she makes a choice and, stands up to her bullies. Even though she loses, she can know in her heart that actually, I stood up for myself, and that makes me, better than them, bigger than them, really. Which was great that they could understand that, because a rock song does complicate things a little bit, but at the same time it was, it's good that they can understand that, because it wasn't the most easiest of songs to do, but I like a challenge. So that is my construction research plan evaluation done. Thank you.